they are not becoming financially free because they don't know what that looks like. There's a lot of emptiness on how the other side looks like. So we keep ourselves on this rabbit hole, secure, comfortable, and then you can get all the excuses in the world why you're not hiring somebody.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Liz.
And this is Andressa.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Investor Show, mini-sode edition. We're going to be talking about Wonder Woman. Now, I love Wonder Woman, but we're actually going to be talking about how this myth of Wonder Woman is not helping women today. Right, Andressa?
Yeah, we want to invite you to come to this discussion. The mini-sodes are evolving to a more like, instead of from us to you, we invite you to come to this conversation with Liz and I. This is not scripted, so guess what? What's going to come out of my mouth? Who knows, right? But let's dive into it. And I encourage you to participate and be active listening in terms of, do you agree? Do you disagree? What is your experience? Where is the point of view that we're missing here? So share your thoughts later on our Facebook community group, because I think that's super important. So where do we start? Where do we identify this Wonder Woman, Liz? If we were to describe her, how does she look like? What does she do?
Well, I'll give you the scenario. And it was an interesting text chain between me and some friends recently. Friends going through a lot. And she's literally doing everything herself. And it's a lot, medical issues. I mean, we can make the long list. And another friend jumped in with a picture of Wonder Woman, almost to like, and that really struck me, right? Because I love Wonder Woman, right? Growing up, she's like this ideal person that's somehow doing it all. She's doing it well. She's like excelling everywhere with everything, right? And so then that made me think about this friend of mine, right? Is just taking so much load on her back unnecessarily, and for a variety of reasons, right? But it's a lot for her. And then to be almost like applauded for it, right? Because that's almost like an applaud, right? Someone's actually sending an image of Wonder Woman. I don't think that's like a detriment. That's like almost an applaud. That kind of keeps this myth going. So I think what I see is a woman who is doing it all themselves. The bottom line with this particular friend was that so many friends asked her to help her, asked to what, here's what I can do to help you. And they were even being specific. They weren't saying, what can I do to help? They're actually giving solutions and I can do this, I can do that. And it wasn't really being received. So where do you go from there, right? And I think just the concept of Wonder Woman is to limit us as women. Because we don't want to do it all. Or do we? That's the question. Because if someone said to me, you're Wonder Woman, it almost makes me feel good. Like, yeah, I am Wonder Woman. And but it's a limiting in the sense of doing it all yourself, right? That's the rub.
I think I would start with the concept of, is it a choice or not? Because I believe, is it a choice for women to handle it all? Or it was something that was imposed by society throughout the years? Right? Because when you look back and you see single moms, they didn't choose to be single moms. They did choose, yes, to become single moms because of a situation that has happened. You name the circumstance, right? But the society, what is asked women to do by default, no longer serves us. However, I think it's so embodied, the expectations are so embodied in our bones, in our DNA, that if we are not doing it, we are not valuable, or our value, it's not attached to something else, right? Raising kids, what a tremendous value. Who comes and says, wow, you're raising this amazing individual. Wow, like you should get a Nobel Prize because you're raising child. You made the child in your freaking belly, and then you push out or whatever happened there, and now you're raising a human being. What the hell? But that being said, for the ladies that are not mom and cannot relate to what I'm saying, say, what the hell? I don't care about that. Fine. I think that awareness, it starts with awareness, I think, right? Am I doing everything here? And what is the cost? If I'm saying yes to all different things, what I'm saying no to. And here's the pitfall for me. No, I wouldn't say pitfall, but like the Achilles heels, right? I can handle a lot. My brain and my capacity is very like stretched. But I think that I evolved. What I have right now, the business that we have right now, Liz, and just 5 years ago, I don't think she had the mental capacity to hold it. I don't do everything as the CEO. I know a lot of people sometimes come to, oh, there's this post on Facebook, or there's this meetup thing, or there's that. I am not involved in the nitty gritty of certain things anymore, any longer. I do not know how certain issues were resolved. But when we looked at a perception, people support that. Where women, hey, yeah, you can figure it out. And I think we should stop saying to one another, yes, you can do it. Yes, you can, but not by yourself. So how do we get out of the rabbit hole? Like,
it's a big question. I think there's a few things. I think looking at yourself, what you just said, there's a cost to doing it all. And there's also a benefit. There's always a positive and negative reason why we do things, right? If someone's not feeling well and they're always not feeling well, someone will ask you, oh, you're not feeling well, right? There's a reason why we are sometimes in a rabbit hole of something. There's a benefit, there's a cost and a benefit, negative and positive. So I think getting honest with yourself is the first step. What does doing everything look like to me? And what are maybe the benefits that maybe have not allowed myself to let go of? Or why did I have not stepped away from that? That's an honest conversation to have with a friend, with yourself. The next thing I'd say, once you get clarity around that, is to then say, where is my worth? Like, so if your worth is not doing it all, what is your worth look like? Is it just being yourself? Like, I mean, it's a deep question, right? I'm just for a mini-sode here.
But do you think that women don't know that? They don't know that they are doing so much that they shouldn't be in the nitty gritty of a lot of things? Well, I'm talking about women who are scaling their business, but they're tapped out, right? So what you're saying is that never occurred to them that they shouldn't be doing certain tasks and certain items.
I think there are women that never occurred to them, but I think they know it's not something they should be doing, but they're doing it still for some reason, some benefit that they're not getting honest with themselves around.
How do they get honest? I'm going to sit down in my bathroom and say, I'm going to get honest with you today.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to get honest with you today.
It's about getting clear on where you're fearful. What are you nervous about? Why haven't they let go of something? What are they scared about? Is it a fear? What's it about? That's honesty. That's what I'm talking about with honesty, is to really gain clarity around, because you're right. A lot of women, it's not like the first time they heard that I need to let go of something or delegate something, right? It's not like rocket science we're saying with that, but they haven't. So there's something blocking them. And it's not just money. It's not just time. I think there's a way of being that could be blocking them.
What comes up for me, and it might not be, if you're listening to it and if it doesn't apply, that's fine. But there's an emptiness that they're avoiding to face. Here's what I mean by that. If somebody takes this task out of my plate, if I'm no longer in charge of fill the blank, then what am I going to do? What am I going to do with my time? Well, but then if I'm financially free, then what I'm going to do with that? What I'm going to do with it, right? And I think that life was not built. And I'm talking very simple things. Do you want to learn a new language? Do you want to go to a country? You might travel mile, might not be your thing. Do you want to, refurbish furniture, cars? I don't know, learn how to tattoo. You name it. But I don't think we give ourselves the time to test things out and say, actually, I really like swimming. And actually, I would like to learn how to do something. I don't know. Go to the swimming class every single day, every single morning, and live the life. I don't think people are building that. And then they are trapped. They are not becoming financially free because they don't know what that looks like. And it's not exciting. Yeah, I'm going to go to the beach and have a margarita or whatever. That's very temporary and empty, right? But what causes are you looking to do? What charities are you into? I think there's a lot of emptiness on how the other side looks like. And then we are running a racket. So we keep ourselves on this rabbit hole, secure, comfortable. And then you can get all the excuses in the world why you're not hiring somebody. Is it because my business is not that there yet? My business is not organized yet. I don't know how to manage people. And the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
But I think that you're right in terms of the honesty. You got to get to the bottom of it.
I think it's one step further. I would say women stay so busy and have so much on their plate. So to avoid being honest with themselves and to avoid feeling what they need to feel and exploring what they need to explore, it's much easier to stay busy. And I think that's the work to be done. I don't know about you, but when you get quiet, like that's where the breakthroughs happen, right? That's where like, I'm not really happy with this. And then fill in the blank on this. You can't even answer that question if you're doing the laundry, running a business, getting the kids. It's like the busyness just allows us not to feel, allows us not to think proactively. And it's allowing us not to get honest with ourselves. And I think that's a lot of women and it's a lot of people, but I think that's the racket to get out of. One of the ways to do that, I know you and I probably looks differently in what we do, but really getting that kind of like quiet time with yourself, not just like to check off a meditation, because that's just another thing to check off, right? Or working out or whatever that looks like to you, but that quiet time to think and not to be on technology, just to stare and to think and to be with yourself. I think not enough people spend that time on a maybe once a year, but not on a weekly, daily basis, like a daily basis. And I'm not saying I do it as diligently, but I'm getting better with it because I know that's where the breakthroughs and the honesty with myself and things I'm working on are going to come out.
Let's go one step further.
All right.
So I think that if we are building this community where we really literally have each other's back, we need to hold each other accountable to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Call it out. And if you see other women doing it in our local meetups across the country, and Canada, inside our Facebook group community, on our Strive membership, whatever you go, InvestorCon, I don't care. Call it out. When somebody is really bragging at how busy they are, call it out. Ask them to listen to this episode. Say, hey, have you heard of the Wonder Woman myth? I think you should take a look at it because what's going on there? And we want to give you a specific tool for you to really have a clear understanding where your time is going. It's called time assessment. So Liz and I prepare. Not complicated because again, we're talking about time. So it needs to be like in and out. So where is your time going? And it's one sheet that we share with you where you can really look at where is your time going and where you should be going to different things. And you got to get honest with you. There's no right or wrong. It is what it is. Let's not make meaning of it, even though our brain's job is to make meaning of everything. But let's look at it. Let's assess it. We're going to share on our show notes, download the PDF, do the work. I believe that it all starts with you taking one step further and doing the work. And then if you come across somebody else, share with somebody else. And then we create this accountability and create this common language where we say, well, honey, we're just going to show up at your house and we're going to take over it. If you want it or not, that's what we're doing it. Yes, we are invading your private space because we're not going to tolerate that type of behavior anymore. Mm-hmm. I can't tolerate that. I can't tolerate seeing a friend or somebody that I really care about running themselves on the ground without even realizing it.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. We're just showing up at your house.
You got Jessa and me.
Hope you enjoyed this episode, ladies. Let us know, what do you think? What are we missing here? What are the different perspectives?
Yeah.
What do you have something to say? We want to hear it. Go to our Facebook group, tag Liz and I on it, and let's continue this conversation there. Talk soon. Bye.